hope I'm in frame and I hope I'm not blurry. Howard the Duck. Up on screen where the actor almost eats it coming down the stairs.
Oh, Simon.
He trips for like a split second. I'm going to try it again because you walked over my joke. It was very foul. You didn't. I mean, it's even worse the second pun. Okay. I said it twice and then it got you the second time, but it was horrible the first as well. Welcome to the list. I'm your host, Enterprise. With me as sometimes my ghostly friend,
Felix.
The title we are scratching off the list today is the 1986 classic.
No, mames, wait, what do you mean classic?
The 1986 cluster Howard the Duck.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Howard, a sarcastic humanoid duck from Duckworld, lands himself on planet Earth to stop an alien invasion with help of a geeky scientist and a struggling rock singer.
That's bullshit. For starters,
Which part?
the lands on Earth to save?
Oh yeah, no, that's not right.
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, he just showed up. It was an accident how he showed up, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
This is technically the very first Marvel movie ever, bro.
I was under the wrong impression that Blade was the first Marvel movie, but no. Is this quacky character right here?
Boo. I'm gonna boo your pun. There was a little like Captain America TV movie like back in the 40s. In the 40s.
In the 40s? Oh no, I remember the 90s one.
No. This is in the 40s. But it was technically like a serial thing, and it wasn't Marvel yet. So technically, it wasn't a Marvel movie, but this is. Mm-hmm. And what he thought about the story? It's a classic fish out of water, or I guess I should say duck out of water.
Yeah.
Boo.
Well, the story is simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it starts as a fish out of water movie, but then turns into a mess. Mm-hmm. For me, it's two movies.
Okay.
It's Howard comes to Earth, meets the rock girl and whatever. Then the other plot of no, it's too much.
It does go from like duck out of water to save us Howard, and the save us Howard part is pretty kind of ridiculous.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I get Howard trying to get home,
mm-hmm.
but the whole, oh no, other dimensional beings are coming to invade the world and whatever. No way.
Yeah.
The movie felt unnecessarily long.
It does feel longer than it is. I think it's an hour and 50 minutes. And it does feel a little long. They should have just stuck with the fish out of water thing without the whole celestial being or alien being or whatever showing up to. And then besides, I'll get to that being in a second because it looked terrible. But yeah, this whole thing is based on a parody comic because Howard the Duck actually first appeared in action in Adventure into Fear comic, which is an American horror comic book series. He was a little character in there, and from that he eventually got his own comic. Early on, he looked very, very similar to Donald Duck.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Or seeing the images of him.
Yes, like a spitting image of him. But back in the day, Disney was not happy, so before the mouse sued, Marvel kind of redesigned him by adding pants. So like they didn't do a whole lot because I'm telling you, look at him. He looks exactly like Donald. And then they just added pants and they were like, okay, we good. We don't have to sue us anymore. But then they opted up later to completely redesign him. And then I think they redesigned him again once Disney purchased him. Right? He's like more moody in the comics, right? And even in some of the newer snippets.
Now he has a suit, and he's he's different now.
What I don't think I knew this going in. I didn't know George Lucas was an executive producer on it.
Oh, me neither. That caught me off guard, like hard.
But that's why I think visually it looks very Lucasy. There's a few certain shots in the beginning when it's like Howard the Duck, and then it does the Star Wars thing with the stars, how it moves in.
Oh yeah, no wonder that felt kind of familiar.
Yeah, it felt very, very Star Warsy. But Lucas wanted it to be an animated movie.
I think it would have benefited of being animated.
Yeah, but like always, the old whites at top, Universal Pictures, insisted it was a live action.
No, and I don't know. I think they kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
And I think that's part of the problem, because you would think it's a talking duck, so you're gonna so it's a kids movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's not a kids movie.
Now is it a PG-13 or a little bit above?
I would probably put it PG-13 because there's duck titties.
There's duck titties and some of the humor, the condoms,
and a lot of
innuendos.
There's a lot of sexual innuendo, but according to IMDb, it's PG. So
wow, well,
it is
PG was hardcore.
And the poster is him with a cigar in his mouth inside of an egg. So it's weird. So from the jump, it has this weird. Is it a kids film? Is it not? But I wouldn't consider it a kids film. But back in the 80s, we were tougher.
Yeah, no, this is definitely not a kids movie. Even the characters way.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When I saw Andy Dufresne pop up, I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's so over the top. I hated him
because Howard looks he looks too freaky.
It's weird, and I think Howard was an interesting thing because the face was very animated. The whole face, the helmet was very animated, but it was hilarious to see when the close-ups happened that there was a change between like a person in a suit to a hand dummy.
Well, it's because that suit was very intricate. There were so many moving parts to the mask. Yeah.
Oh, the mask, I would imagine.
Yeah, to the whole mask, because you have to operate the eyes, his mouth, the beak, the eyebrows. It was a very intricate little suit. And I don't mean little because there was a little person inside it, but you know what I mean.
But it was literally a small suit.
But it's freaky because he looks like a member of Chuck E. Cheese band just came to life and started messing around. It's just hella freaky. But I think I got used to him pretty quickly though. Like, yeah,
actually, I think the visual effects the effects on Howard were so good. I immediately like, oh shit, it kind of looks weird. Oh wait, no, it's okay.
Speaking of not looking good at all, that bad guy is horrific. I don't like the design.
Which one?
It. The very last one.
The real monster?
Yeah, it looks gross.
Oh, it looks gross, but I have to say that the stop motion was actually pretty good.
It was, but I'm saying the design of the monster is kind of like generic and stupid.
It's like a scorpion with a lot of like claws and
it's like a scorpion that got chewed bubblegum on top of it. It looks horrific. I don't like it at all.
The design kind of reminded me of some Lovecraft monsters, but it has no place in here.
It does feel like you said that they're telling two different stories, and if they would have picked one, you know.
Oh yeah, it would have benefited a lot. That's in runtime and themes.
Yeah, that saving the world part, I feel like we would have been done better without, because that was a big thing in the 80s and early 90s was a whole fish out of water. Bigfoot at fish. E.T. is fish out of water. E.T. didn't really, I don't remember if he actually has to fight anything, because he just wants to get his creepy little ass home, you know?
Yeah.
He's not really fighting everything, but everything outside of his world is an enemy because they don't know him. So if they would have approached that, maybe like a Howard the Duck E.T., this movie would have been way better, because there's so many inconsistencies. Some people look at Howard and go, what the f*** is that? And some other are like, oh, what are you doing here, Duck? And they're trying to like rob him.
Yeah,
so
wait, are they trying to cook him?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that was freaky too. So are we afraid of him or not? And then he would like do these weird things, and some, it's Halloween. It's just so many inconsistencies within the world. Performance wise, it's an 80s movie, I guess.
It's cheesy.
It's cheesy. The cast is pretty stacked, I would think. Like for the time, Leah Thompson coming fresh off of Back to the Future, I believe.
Oh yeah, she was hot.
Tim Robbins, Jeffrey Jones. So the cast is pretty stacked. It is very, very, very unsettling when she's boning.
Well, not boning, but like insinuating wanting to bone Howard.
It's just a little weird. She just comes off weird, you know? Especially in the 80s, because if this was today, she would be labeled pansexual, and then it's all good, you know?
Simon.
But what's with Leah Thompson in the 80s? She was always playing freaks, kissing her son and then kissing Howard. What the hell's going on?
The
80s is wild.
Yeah, the 80s were wild.
We weren't even born then. So.
No.
But some interesting casting choices for Howard. All right, there's a handful.
Oh,
Let me know how you feel about a Martin Short voiced Howard. I can see that.
Yes, Martin Short. Yes, because his voice is very peculiar and has a lot of range.
It's ducky, if you will. Also considered was John Cusack, who was huge in the 80s and early 90s as well.
John Cusack? I don't see him.
I don't see him either. But the most interesting one, especially because this person was interested in doing it, was Robin Williams.
Oh my God.
Would have been too much for it though?
I would imagine so, because he had such a huge presence.
I mean, look at the Genie, that was his first animated movie, I think.
Wait, the Genie is Aladdin is just the Genie, así de pelado.
Right, it's the Genie's movie, whether we like it or not, and we like it. But I feel like Robin Williams' energy is more like Donald Duck or Daffy Duck, crazy like that. So I'm kind of glad that they did it, but at the same time, like what it would have been if it was the animated movie with Robin Williams. I wonder if he would have been able to reel it in a little.
I would imagine so. Something in my gut tells me that they would have reeled it in a little bit, just a little bit, not let him be Mark and Mindy nano crazy.
Right. Speaking of us not being in the 80s, there was a lot of weird things as far as the marketing, especially this kind of stuff happened in the 80s. Okay. So Howard was concealed throughout the whole thing. He wasn't revealed until you go see the movie, which I wish we do a little bit more of that today. Right. There was a lot of very weird commercials of Leah Thompson being all sexy, almost like a after midnight, call this hotline, and she's all like, he's a great guy, and just being all these weird sexual innuendos about the duck, and he's my friend, y la verga.
And these are movie scenes, right?
No. It was like a commercial that she shot specifically for promo.
Oh my God, I missed those.
Yeah, and then you don't get to see him even in the trailer. They would just show his little feet pattering, and him running across. But you never got to see what Howard looked like until you were in the theater. Especially if you imagine taking your nephew or something, and there's duck titties in the first 10 minutes.
Well, the nephew's gonna be a very confused person growing up.
He's gonna be pansexual. Along with that, there was also a hotline that you could call.
What?
Where there would be a recording of the Howard the Duck's voice actor talking about the movie, like, this is really cool, and he's basically explaining the movie to you.
Greetings again, Earth friends, and thank you for calling me, Howard the Duck, star of Universal Pictures' new movie. I thought it would be a good idea for you to get to know some of my film friends. For Hairless Apes, they're really a pretty good group.
Now, there's no way they do that now.
The closest thing I remember was at the end of Batman, right? Wasn't there a code?
Oh, Simon.
Of the Batman? What was it? A website, right? For a code that you're supposed to decipher?
Simon.
Did we as a people ever ended up figuring that out?
Oh yeah, people figured it out very quickly.
This movie is obviously considered a flop. It got a $16 million return out of a $37 million budget, so it didn't even make half of its money back. Do you think it's so bad it's good, or you think it's just really, really bad?
No, I just think it's really, really bad. Like, for real, when I was a kid, I saw bits and pieces of it. I was interested. I was like, oh, this movie was kind of cool. Like, this movie, I did not watch it in one sitting. And even then, I felt it was long as shit. Yeah. So, no, I would not say it's a good movie.
Well, the puns are really, really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
There's a funny moment that I'm going to throw up on screen where the actor almost eats it coming down the stairs.
Oh, Simon!
He trips for like a split second.
That's hilarious.
I also found that the conflict between Howard and Beverly was really, really weak. and then they fall for each other like every other 80s movie. That's just an 80s trope that's very, very weak.
Yeah, no, them falling for each other, well, it did not feel sincere at all.
No.
I would fall for Beverly quick. I thought the whole movie was gonna be like the manager thing, like the rock band, the firing the manager, Howard becoming the manager, all that. Then no, we could get some cosmic over here.
That's what I'm saying. If they would have stuck to that, it would have been a better idea. But instead, they have these forced puns. He's a duck who can't swim.
Oh, I always thought he had superpowers, but no. You know, quack fu, which is basically kung fu. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a duck who can fight. If I were to pick a shining moment for me, I think I'm gonna pick like the pretty crazy plane stunts in this little movie.
Oh, I think that was the most entertaining part of it. Oh my god!
You can obviously see that when they switch to like an actual pilot with like a little stuffed animal between his legs, but there are other shots with the two actors and Tim Robbins and Howard.
Howard.
That you can actually, that was like not green screen or nothing. That was like them flying. I don't know how they did it. Right?
I would love to know how they did it because
they're in the air.
They're in the air, and there's some close-ups when like not long, like not wide shots, but kind of in the middle when you see the actors.
Yeah,
and this dumbass duck just waving the stick around, and I always thought, oh, he's gonna die.
Not quite Top Gun Maverick, but a little to the side, but you can still see
a little to the side.
You know, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, this is Top Gun Maverick type. What the hell's going on? They're actually flying the plane, and I was impressed with that part, you know. But then they say some stupid, you know, stupid pun. I'm like, oh damn,
you just ruined it, Howard.
What would you say to someone who has morbid curiosity and wants to watch it? Would you tell them to experience it for themselves, or they can skip it?
If they're like me, I'm just gonna warn them. You know what? It takes a dip. But if you're like a normal person, hey, I'm curious. Nah, skip this. No, skip it.
If you're a person who suffers from FOMO, then yeah, just be warned that it is actually pretty bad. There are some moments that you can like, oh, okay, I kind of get it, and chuckle and whatever, but then 2 seconds later it flips on you again. You're like, oh, okay, that was terrible.
Yeah, I think the part that made me laugh the most was when they were in the diner with the possessed doctor. The waitress. I love the waitress.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
That is about it. Yeah, this movie's very foul.
Oh, and the musical number at the end, I couldn't watch it. I was like, no. You there's the Howard the Duck theme song. No, screw this. No.
Yeah, no, it was very. I'm gonna try it again because you walked over my joke. It was very foul. You didn't. I mean, it's even worse the second pun. Okay. I said it twice and then it got you the second time, but it was horrible the first as well. Do you think he's better as like a background character in the Guardians, or you think it's time for a new movie?
No, keep him as a background character. I don't need to know nothing.
Disney Plus series?
Not even.
Disney Plus mini series, a 10 episode, 10-minute thing.
Like the Groot one?
I
think like a Groot short thing. Sure. Like, oh, Howard in here. Oh, Howard over there.
Just relegated to the background.
Yeah. I don't think he has like the presence or the depth.
He seems like an interesting, cool character to explore, but we'll see if if he has a place in the next Marvel phase, whatever it is now. Please comment down below any facts that we might have missed that you might know, or anything about the movie, along with any other movies we should add to the list and do for you. And if we do, we'll shout you out on the next episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna leave Daredevil for you guys right here. Always and forever. Oof. You do you.
Bye. No, I'm a Daredevil. Oh, that's a good one.
Is it though? Howard's better.